So we will soon begin the final session for today. That is accentuating UX in academic libraries through technology, a practical approach. You've already heard a little bit, like a little bit in brief from our speaker, Dr. Giridhar Kunkur, who is the librarian and unit chief publications and media relations at the Birla Institute of Science and Technology at Pilani, which is BITS Pilani. So Professor Kunkur has over 39 years of rich experience in offering modern and customer-oriented library and information services. He is right now working as a librarian at BITS Pilani and is known for effectively transforming the BITS library and has held the position of Chief of Publications and Media Relations Unit in the non-institute. Under his leadership, BITS Pilani has received Wiley's Digitally Transformed Academic Library 2019 award under a government category. Before this, he was head of the Learning Resource LRC Center at Wellington Institute of Management in Mumbai, where he was instrumental in revamping and redesigning the library to go with modern trends to increase visibility and usage of online and physical resources. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Professor Kunkur. I will stop sharing my screen, sir, so that you can share yours. In the meantime, a sincere request to all participants to keep yourselves on mute while the speaker is taking the session. Also, please do ask questions, please do give your comments throughout the session and also after it, because I guess we'll have a more elaborate reflective session after this. Over to you, sir. Your screen is visible.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
My presentation?
We can see a Word doc, sir.
No. How about this?
Now we can see the presentation, right? Now we can see the. You just have to go to slideshow. Yeah, perfect. Go on, sir.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Geo Institute and Dr. Shri Kumar for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts today with all of you during this international workshop, which is being attended by so many eminent librarians, not only from India, but also from abroad. And it is indeed a great honor for me. In this session, I would like to share my views why user experience matters in our library. And I strongly believe that our ability to discover user interests and user experiences can greatly help libraries to align or engage users using the more appropriate, not only more appropriate technologies, but also through collaboration and face-to-face interaction. And therefore, I have taken this topic as accentuating user experience in academic libraries through technology, a practical approach. And here I will be sharing with you what exactly we have done at BITS Pilani Library, enhancing the user experience, the kind of attempts that we have made, particularly using technology. So I shall be spending almost about 45 to 50 minutes. And end of the session, of course, we'll spend some time on question and answer. Friends, there are several examples when we talk about user experience. There are several examples where users themselves get connected emotionally with the libraries, for various reasons. And many a times we do not even come to know about that, whether it is in your library or in my library. We may have come across several such examples. And I would like to share with you my experience of such an incident that happened with me a few years ago when the Professor Narendra Ahuja, who is currently working in the Department of Electrical and Computer Science at University of Illinois, USA, who is a BITS alumnus. He visited BITS Pilani Library about 3.5 years ago. And he came to me and asked me whether I could help him in finding a book that he was trying to trace in the library. And he said the title of the book is What Religion Is, in the words of Swami Vivekananda, edited by John Ale. And he said he used to read this book when he was a student in 1985, which means he was talking about the book that he had read almost about 36 years ago. I said, sir, I will check the catalog. I quickly did a opaque search, and fortunately, I could find the book on in the stock. I told him, let's go to the shelf and take it out. So I took him there, and when I went there, fortunately, again, I could locate the book fairly quickly, and I pulled out the book from the shelf. The moment I pulled it out, he grabbed it from my hand, and he said, sir, this is the book that I was longing to look at, and this book has transformed my life, and whatever I am today is all because of this book. And he had actually come along with a photographer. So he what he did was he held that book in his hand with a smiling face, took the photograph. He kept it very carefully on the table, took the photograph of the cover page, opened the title page, took the photograph. He went inside and took the photograph of the due date slip. And he told me, uh, so these are the 3 dates when I had borrowed this book from the library. That really amazed me, this gentleman remembers the date when he had borrowed this book from the library almost about 36 years ago. And he went on clicking quite a few pages in the book. Out of curiosity, I asked him, so you are taking so many photographs of the book. Is it because the book is out of print or what? He said, no, 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 I have this book at home. That further amazed me. My God, this gentleman has got this book at home, and he is coming all the way from US to look at this book. He said, yes, actually I wanted to come here, touch this book, feel this book, smell this book, because I know what this book has done to me in my life. So friends, actually he was, sharing with us his lifelong experience. Now, we as librarians actually must acknowledge the fact that the users adopt certain behaviors that they believe will lead to their success. And it is far too easy for us as librarians to make incorrect assumptions about the user's needs and motives, and we must come out of our comfort zone to look into user in the life of the library, which is a wrong way of saying it. Instead of that, we should look at the users, I mean library in the life of user, that talks about user experience. Okay. So before I proceed, I would like to take you through the definition of what is user experience by Mike Kuniowski. And he is a very well-known author, and he's an expert in this subject. According to him, user experience is the totality of end users' perceptions as they interact with the product or service. So these perceptions include the effectiveness of the system. That means how good is the result, efficiency of the system or service, that is how fast it is, and emotional satisfaction of the end users, that is how good does it feel, and the quality of the relationship with the entity that created the product or service, which means what expectation does it create for subsequent interactions. Okay, so I found this particular definition pretty apt for a library environment, so I chose this. And user, let me shift this particular panel from here. It is troubling me. I'll take it down. Okay, so user experience is motivated by a call to uh, actively pay close attention to users' unique and distinctive requirements, which allows libraries to more effectively design services for their communities. So primarily it focuses on the users, services, and problem solving. And when we particularly talk about problem solving, on the very first day, the inaugural session of this international workshop, uh, Professor MP Punia, he referred to 10 mantras by Professor Mashelkar. Perhaps you all are aware of it. And particularly, I would like to reiterate, emphasize on one mantra, which talks about problem solving. He says, be always a part of a solution, never a part of the problem. If you can't find the way, create a new way. Don't just knock on the door of opportunity, create your own doors. So, if we librarians have to effectively design service for our communities, we must necessarily focus on the problem solving. We cannot afford to sit on it. And other aspects of it is when it talks about focusing, it focuses on participation and also collaboration. And more notably, it is related to the human centered design, service design, and participatory design. There are several factors actually that influence user experience. In the past over 20 years, the user experience has indeed increased in importance for the academic library. And some of the recognized factors of user experiences are how useful is the library from the user's point of view. That means users come to the library with a particular purpose, be it for serious research or for reading for personal or academic growth, or to have some kind of academic interaction, collaboration, brainstorming, or to use some interesting spaces in the library, or just to hang out. Okay. And how usable is the library from the library's point of view? That means users should be able to achieve their objectives when they visit the library. Just to give you a tiny little example, if a visitor or a student is visiting to check out books, then how usable our circulation processes are, how they check out the books in the library. Is there a self-checkout system? How easy, how quick and efficient is the system? This is what exactly Mike Kuniowski says in his definition. Does it require any staff intervention, or whether the users are able to do their transaction without anybody's help? How desirable is the library? Okay, that means the way we present our libraries, the overall presentation of the library, the kind of displays that we make, the sitting arrangements, the comfort that we establish, and whether the environment is clean and attractive enough for our users, and whether the staff members are very well informed, helpful, with a smiling face, inviting the users, and whether the necessary infrastructure is in place or not. And the next factor is, how findable is the library? That means whether users are able to find items without anybody's help. Have we provided enough directions and instructions which are concise and clear? And how accessible is the library? Uh, what does it mean? Like, are there any obstacles? And whether we have made sure that everything is wheelchair accessible, and have clear paths for fire drills and other emergencies. And we should not be placing books too high or too low, for that matter, and creating trouble for the users. And how credible is the library, which means when students enter the library, they need to trust us as librarians, and they really need the freedom to read and do other academic research and innovative work, and we must protect their privacy, we must respect their privacy. Okay, so these are some of the recognized factors of user experience. Looking back, friends, last few decades, the library space planning, as you would know, was driven primarily by the concern for printed material. The storage came first, followed by other space intensive print related needs of the library, such as acquisition. Okay, right from the inception of the library, we have been acquiring books, and till now, I'm particularly referring to the print sources, and they are occupying a large amount of space. We need to make that kind of a provision in the library. Therefore, the library is a growing organism. And imagine the kind of card catalogs, cabinets that we used to have in the library, occupying a lot of space in the library. And if you ask any the present day users, particularly the youngsters, they do not know what these catalog card cabinets are for. I don't think anybody has pulled out even a single drawer to see what is there inside, because of the intervention of technology and OPAC and so many other things that are in place now. Now, imagine our book processing units. Okay, they were like factories, like classification, cataloging, accessioning, putting stamp, putting due date slips, spine labels, so on and so forth. So much of monotonous and clerical work, and also the kind of space that these book processing units used to take in the library. Now, because of again technology and so much of automation, a lot of these monotonous work have been taken care of, and there is a difference between then and now. And again, the circulation manual system that we used to have occupying a lot of space right at the entrance of the library. Now with RFID technology, the entire scenario is changed in the library. Okay, so at that time, the efficiency in print management was the standard for success. And one of the main activity of the library at that time was curation of the collection. And this particular role of the library was so significant that the reputation of the organization was measured in terms of its size, depth and breadth of library's collection. However, currently, if we look at it, that is not a true representation of the present academic libraries. Collection is important, but is not some of the library. Okay. Now, due to rapid decline in the print, which has taken librarians by surprise in the last over 20 years, now looking at the present day, the kind of hybrid library system that we have, the librarians as well as libraries are challenged to design the spaces to support the users, which require awareness of a whole new set of variables, be it pedagogical and learning styles and current and emerging new technologies that we need to implement in the library, and the cultural expectations of our own users, and the library's own requirement of enhancing the user experience. So to achieve all this, the libraries are constantly redefining themselves. Now, as perhaps you all will agree, in the recent past, there is a paradigm shift in the education system. To catch up with that, many libraries world over have adopted new standards, introduced new services, implemented new technologies. Okay, to go with that, the expectations of our users also have changed significantly, including their perception of using the library for learning, accessing, interacting, innovating, collaborating, and also for gaining knowledge and experience. Now, with the use of appropriate technology, engagement of appropriate technology, because the technology will certainly continue to be a powerful driver of deep and sweeping changes in the time to come. And when we adopt this and put them, we can present our libraries as visible, valuable, and productive partner in achieving the organizational goals. Now, the picture speaks 1,000 words. Now, look at this picture. Perhaps you'll be able to figure out what I'm trying to say here. That is the difference between the present day user and users who were there in the past. Okay. So when we talk about present day users, they are very, very tech savvy, very demanding, and invariably they think that they are empowered by Google. And they are not really very much bothered about the kind of information that they get and the source from where it is coming, how authentic it is, how trustworthy it is. They're not just bothered, as long as what they get using their handheld swanky gadgets, if they feel that they are happy with what they get, does not matter, even if they do not go to this second page of the search result. So that's how the trend otherwise. And we librarians know that Google is not answer for their academic and research requirements. Okay. And the younger generation, they want to see that everything works, functions effectively. They want to seek answers to questions and avail services with minimal efforts. And also, they do not have patience. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics of the present day users. Whether it is in your library or in my library, anywhere in this world, the vast majority of the users that we have in our libraries are youngsters, the young generation, the generation Y. So we need to necessarily align our services to go with the aspirations and the requirements of our younger generation, whether we like it or not. And whether it is in terms of the technology or the resources and facilities, infrastructure, whatever it is, we need to necessarily, you know, align our services. Otherwise, there will be a void, there will be a disconnect. Okay. So we may become, what should I say, irrelevant to them, or libraries may become irrelevant to them if we do not catch up with what they want in the library. So libraries, usually with a lot of budgetary constraints, as you know, are still making good amount of investments in acquiring print, both print as well as digital resources. And these resources are normally made available through the library websites or information gateways known as library web portals. Okay, so many a times what happens with the library websites and portals is that they are a bit complex, in the sense that they are not user friendly and are static. That is one way communication, so they are not interactive many a times. Okay, so what happens is, if a user is trying to cull out some information from a library website, information is there, but it is deeply embedded somewhere in the deep pages of the library website, and the user is taking some time to get it. So what happens, as I mentioned, they do not have patience. So they may prefer to use popular search engines such as Google as a quick solution for their immediate information needs. So then what happens as a result of this? It is actually result in underutilization of libraries' electronic resources. So keeping this in mind, the planning, designing, organizing the content with distinct features such as quick access to resources, services, federated search engines, dedicated spaces for users to engage them as part of the library portal, along with interactive points to communicate with them, would become very, very critical and important aspect of the library portal. And what you are seeing on the right hand side is the BITS Pilani's in very interactive library portal. Okay, so I strongly believe that the online presence and the technology applications in the library are as important as library's physical infrastructure and its resources. So with these ideas, the BITS Pilani library we developed an online portal in collaboration with students. We engaged our own students to develop this particular website using PHP language. And, the main purpose of developing this was to engage users with the proactively and making the library services more relevant, visible, and quickly meet their teaching and learning needs. And at the same time, we wanted to make the library portal as a platform for marketing the library services. Okay. The objective was to build relationship with the user, get them engaged with the library to recommend, share, suggest, complain, and compliment and give feedback. Okay. So at the same time, it was intended to provide opportunities for the users to engage with the library. So these were some of the main objectives that we had in developing this. And I wish actually I had made a live demonstration of this interactive library portal, but because of the time constraint, I have to depend only on my slide, shows here. So to enable the users to quickly access either the resources, services, or to book spaces in the library, what we have done is, we have created we have designed separate icons for each of these activities. Okay. So, and there are again, separate individual icons that we have created for each of these resources, services, and spaces to make them look prominent, as well as for ease of access, as well as for branding. So these are just a few icons associated with resources and services which are integral part of the library portal. And at the same time, we have also provided the federated search engine, the discovery tool, before and after the login pages, and have named it as One Search. And this One Search is a single search box which pulls together all BITS Pilani library resources to get the most relevant search results. Now, there are several services that we have added as a part of the library portal. And I would like to take you with through some of the services and spaces and things like during this session. And to begin with, it is about Book Finder for You. And it is a tool that we have developed again using PHP language with the help of our students and things like that. And now this particular tool helps the users to quickly locate the books in the library without wasting their time. It is almost like instantaneous. Now, why did we develop this particular tool? I just want to give you a little background about this. Almost about 5.5 years ago, because of the size of the library, it's a pretty big library with 65,000 square feet, and we have almost about 250,000 books, and all these books are distributed in 6 different halls. And what had happened at the time was there were no proper guidance, or the bay guides or directions to locate these books in the library. Even the library catalog, did not direct the students where to go in the library to find that particular book. Okay, so something, that signage was missing, that direction was missing, pathway was missing, and finding a book was a Herculean task. So there were so many complaints coming from the students and all that, and I thought, this is not the way to present the library and all that, and there was a huge problem. So we needed to give a solution. So we had a series and rounds of deliberations on this along with the library staff, and finally we came up with a strategy, with a solution. I'm not going to tell you the strategy as of now, but certainly I'd like to take you through the tool that we have developed to give you an example how it works. I want somebody to confirm that when I click this, the tool opens. Can somebody tell me, confirm that the book finder is opening?
Yes, yes, we can see it. Yes.
Okay, fine, great. Uh, for example, this is a live example of a book finder for you on the library portal. Suppose somebody is trying to find out books, say, on chemistry, or say, I would like to say, select, say, chemical kinetics, for example. So, uh, chemical kinetics, remember this as a subject. So they will search there. Immediately, the library portal tells the user, you go to hall number 2, row number 16, on the B side of the shelf, shelf number 164, and the call number 541.34. So it is almost instantaneous with any kind of subject approach to find the books on the shelf. Okay. Now, this particular tool that we have developed is also integrated with Koha catalog. Now, this is a subject approach here. Now, I'll tell you, if somebody wants to locate the book using the title or the author or whatever it is, so how have we integrated that with the library Koha catalog? I will take you through the Koha. This is the library website before login. Okay, so before login, there are certain provisions that we have made so people can also access the library online catalog here. So I'm clicking the online catalog. I hope you are able to see all this, correct? Great. So now to give you a very quick example of this catalog, uh, I'll go to the books added last month. So I'm clicking there. It will take just a few seconds to load. Uh, okay, so there are 189 search results. Okay, so let me go down and choose a particular some title. Okay, let me choose this particular title, Blue Ocean. I think Dr. Sri Kumar, in his first day, inaugural day session, he talked about blue ocean strategy. Okay, so now this is a library catalog, as you know, and under notes in the catalog, under notes, there is a location mark here. Please click here to know the location of the book. So you go there. This is that particular book by the title. So it says you go to hall number 3, row number 31 on the A side, 348 is the shelf number and the classification number. They get it from the catalog. So this is this tool actually is helping our users so much so that the book finding a book in the library is no big deal now. It is almost instantaneous, and it has enhanced the experience of using the catalog, using this particular tool to a greater extent, and it is almost like a hot cake in the library. Okay. So I'll continue with my next slides, and I'll now tell you something about the spaces. You know how we have presented the library spaces through the library website, library portal. So as I had mentioned, for every service, every space, there is an icon that we have designed. So they click here in the on the library website. When they click, immediately other icons associated with different spaces in the library, like brainstorm room, group discussion room, research zone, innovation zone, maker space, multimedia studio, ideation zone, Birla, Birla, collection, all these things come to the users at their fingertips. And anybody wanting to use any of these spaces, they simply go to any of these icons and click there. Now, as an example, I will take you through the brainstorm room booking. So when they click there, immediately the library portal presents a booking form for brainstorm room for the users, be it the faculty members or the students. So they can indicate the date when they want to use it, and from what time to what time they want to use it, and for what purpose they want to use it. Is it for group discussion, presentation, workshop, meeting, webinar, seminar, whatever it is, and what is the topic of the seminar, webinar, whatever they are doing. They need to indicate here the topic and topic of the activity, and how many participants are there in that particular activity. So they have to give that, and what kind of provision or arrangement that they want in the room. So whether it is a round table meeting or whether it's a group discussion kind of a facility, they can indicate that there. And other requirements, if they want LED projector, screen, sound system, cordless microphone, collar microphone, internet connection, so on and so forth, they can click any, they can click all, and they submit. When they submit, what happens is, because the users have logged in through their credentials, it goes from their dashboard, that user's dashboard, and it appears on the library's admin dashboard. So every day morning when we go to the library, we open our admin dashboard to see what kind of requests that the library has received, whether it is with regard to the space booking, whether it is with regard to any problems that they are facing, or if they have made any recommendation, like book recommendation or anything, because there are so many options for them to make interact with the library. So it is going from user dashboard to the library dashboard. It is the communication is happening between the two dashboards here. There is no external communication that is taking place. Okay. And for example, talking about the brainstorm room, this is the brainstorm room that they book. Okay. As you can try to figure out, it is not a very big space. It is just about 20 feet by 40 feet. But the kind of arrangements that we have made, and we have made it look aesthetically, we have designed it aesthetically, a bit nice way, so that people love the environment there, and with all IT infrastructure in place and all that, and also online booking, and we have marketed it very well within the campus. Now the impact or outcome is, this tiny little space in the campus has become so popular among the faculty as well as students. There is a back-to-back booking. Back-to-back booking, I'm just telling you, as a matter of fact, last 2 years prior to the lockdown, you know, almost very close to 20,000 students have booked this small little space. So what is the outcome? Outcome is, increasing the footfalls in the library. Okay. And also they love to use the space. So enhancing their experience of using the library facilities and things like that. Okay. Right. Now, to make the library portal itself as a channel of communication between the user and the library staff, we have developed a communication tool, and it is called Connect with the Library. Okay, so this takes care of various requirements of the users that are listed down here. So they can use this particular panel for recommending the books. Okay, it is open to everybody. And suppose if a student is not finding the book on the shelf, they can complain, they can go here and complain about that. Okay, there are individual people who are responsible for these services or complaints. They address it, immediately. And if, say, for example, a database is not working, and if a particular link is not working, just now during the previous session, we faced some link associated with issue with the previous presenter. Okay, in India, in Indian context. Okay, so like that, if people face such difficulties, they can, immediately mention about that under their grievances here. And things like, if they are not happy with the library services, no matter what we do, like, the problem associated with, say, textbook counter or help desk or photocopy service, information counter, reference service, including gatekeeping. Okay, if they face any difficulties, they can lodge their grievances. So now, what the another beauty of this particular facility, I'll tell you, because the staff managing these various service points, they know that if they do not behave well or if they do not provide the quality service, then there will be a complaint by the students. So therefore, they do not wish to see that they get complaints about their service. So they provide better quality service. Okay, so that's how it is also helping the library to improve the quality of service. And other engagement activities, just to quickly tell you, is, I just read this book. There is an option. For example, a student has read a book and he loved it so much that he would like to tell the entire BITS community that you also must read this book. This is wonderful to read. So what he does is, he just, sends us a quick, a crisp review of the book, not exceeding more than 50 words, along with his photograph and along with the title and the author of the book and the blurb of the book. He sends it using the portal. When he sends it, we upload it on the library portal. So two things will happen. Number one, the books get promoted, and that will be viewed by thousands of students, and they like it because they would like to read that book further. So there is a demand. So there will be a booking system again, reservation system again. Everything is automated there. And also, second thing, good thing that happens with the user is that because his photograph appears there, his name appears there, he becomes popular in the campus. Okay, so there is so much that happens when we engage users with the library portal. And also, the users can also, using the portal, can give their feedback about good, bad, ugly about the library. Okay, so it captures everything and does analytics and gives us the statistics of what they want to say. Now, I will move on to the next service that we have started at BITS Pilani. It is Teaching Aids and Research Aids Alert Service. Here, what we have done is we have worked on a system to map the digital content of the library covering various databases to the courses taught by the faculty members at BITS Pilani, and also the for the research scholars to map their research work. So we wanted to establish a connect between the resources, the digital content, with their academic and research work. So that was the main objective. So the here we wanted to send or make available a maximum of 10 articles which are latest, peer reviewed and full text relevant to their classroom teaching or research areas in the form of alert, either on a weekly basis or fortnightly or a monthly basis as per their choice. So that's how we wanted to design it. And to achieve this, we needed a platform to provide this particular service. So we had a discussion with EBSCO because we subscribe to their discovery tool, and we had a nice discussion with them, and they were so helpful. And they, through a series of deliberations and brainstorm session with them, we made them understand how we want that service to be provided to the end user. Okay, and we came up with a solution for that. And it had to be a simple process from the library admin point of view, where the library administrator, can easily set up to 5 alerts for a single user at a time in one single email. Okay, that's how we wanted it. And the platform we have developed to which meets all the requirements of the library. And definitely there is a dedicated team that is responsible for setting up of the alert service. And this is what is the a query form, the alert setup form, which is a very simple user interface from the library admin point of view, where we can at the back end enter the name of the user, email of the the person who would like to receive the service, and also upload the logo of the university, so that when they get the alert, it goes with the logo to make them sure that it is coming from the bits Pilani library. And also to personalize the service, we can enter the header of the alert, making it very specific to the person concerned. Like, for example, we can say teaching aids alert service for Professor Smita. So when Professor Smita receives the service, she feels connected with it immediately because her name appears on the header, and there's a feel good factor. And other things like, how frequently she wants to receive the service, whether it is weekly, fortnightly, monthly, whatever the frequency of the alert service, and how long does she want to receive it, whether 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, they can indicate, and we can actually set the alerts according to that. And also the email of the person who is providing the service, whether it is me or my any one of my colleagues, they can whoever is creating the service, they can give their email. What happens when somebody receives the alert service, they know that it is going from this particular staff member. In case of any grievances, if articles are not relevant, they are not happy, they can connect with that individual and get it sorted out. Okay. So the faculty members and research scholars, they are expected to give us, the 5 keywords related to their teaching or and or research. And there is a query form, which is a part of the entire, the platform, where we can enter 5 keywords given by the user. So here you can see there is a provision for entering 5 keywords from top to bottom. And in order to make the service more precise and all that, so that they get the right kind of articles, so we can enter the limiter here, to ensure that they get full text articles, they get English articles only, they get peer reviewed articles only. Okay, so we can make it very specific. And if some user wants it to go from a particular magazine or a journal, it can go under facet. We can enter those details under facet. Okay, so it is customized to the needs of the end user. Okay, so and then we submit and we create the alert service. Then when we do the alert service, actually the platform generates a kind of a report, where from the report we can preview or remove previously set alerts. So this is for example, the snapshot of the report. For example, the first one, whoever it is, like if I want to see who is this person, what he is receiving and all that, there is a preview button, which is a blue button. So when I click on this blue preview button, what will happen is I'll get to see who is this person and what is he getting. So it is say Vivek Tiwari, who is a research scholar, and it says, "Hello, Vivek Tiwari, your weekly email alerts," and click on the below links to view, or to view the latest articles from your interest areas. And he had given us 5 keywords, and this is an email in which 5 keywords are mentioned to him, and whenever he gets it every week, whenever he gets any of these this thing, for example, he wants to see what articles he's getting, or I can also check from the library side what articles he's getting on phase change. So I click there, I get immediately the articles, 10 articles that he has received during that particular week. I can verify whether these articles are relevant to Vivek or not. And Vivek in turn also can check whether they are relevant or not. So there is a quality check that happens both ends. Okay. So I must tell you here is that this teaching and research aids alert service has added a lot of value to the academic as well as research related work of faculty and research scholars, and at the same time it has indeed put the library resources to optimum use. So every week our faculty members and research scholars are receiving 15,000 alerts as a part of this service as of now. And in a month, which means we are sending almost about 60,000 alerts to our community, and it is growing and growing. Okay, so recently we did a survey of our faculty members to see how they find this service. 82% of them, they found the teaching alert service as either good or excellent. 87.9% of them found that the research alerts are either good or excellent, and 81% of the faculty members found this service very useful. So you will see the gap of almost about 19% of the faculty members who are not really very happy with the service. Okay, so why and how does that happen? It's primarily because the keywords are not right. If we improve the kind of keywords that they have provided, certainly they will get more relevant articles. So currently we are in touch with them, we are liaising with them, we are improving the keywords that are sent by them and improving the quality of the service. That's how the quality improvement process continues here. I'll now move to the Makerspace. It is a service as well as a space, I should say. As many of you would know that makerspaces are a growing service area for many academic libraries, especially in Western countries. And in BITS Pilani library, it is a very collaborative kind of a space, and it provides access to resources which aid in design, prototyping, and realization of solutions. And it gives enough freedom to explore and experiment out of the box ideas in real time, and facilitates the collaboration with other like-minded students and faculty to work on projects and create products which have impact across different levels. Okay, so the idea behind the setting up of this separate, maker space is it triggered as a result of several rounds of discussions that we had with our faculty members. The only prerequisite to use the space is a very strong desire to learn and create. Okay, and this facility indeed aims to serve as a working ground for independent students projects, and there are several projects that students have used using makerspace in the library, and they are all technology oriented. They have provided solutions such as they have developed a 3D printed biometric face recognition machine for marking attendance, and they have creatively engineered the products from electronic waste generated on the campus. They have come out with sustainable solutions to water scarcity problems in Pilani. Okay, and also they have developed prototypes on rainwater harvesting and so on and so forth. And this space has been created as a separate and very well furnished section in the library with access to the state of art resources that we have. Like we have a 3D printer, we have a high performance computer, and Raspberry Pi 4, Arduino kit, and also like the various electronic gadgets and circuits and IoTs and things like that. Okay, and the addition of these electronic components is going on continuously based on what our users want. Okay, and all these resources are being added to the library catalog. This is a library catalog, and you can see that we have created a category called makerspace where all these resources are entered. When when a student clicks makerspace, he will get all the items that are available with the library makerspace. And just like they can borrow books, they can borrow these electronic items. And a very well trained library staff actually handles this circulation of electronic gadgets, so that and there are no mistakes happen, and it is handled carefully. And another thing is the use of this resource by the students is very well tracked with the help of interactive library portals, booking system. I gave you earlier one example of booking, how it happens. Now this is the booking system for the makerspace here. Here, through this, we know who is using the makerspace for what, when, and why. Okay, and also to make it as a bit self-sustained activity, we have stipulated a kind of a small fee to use a 3D printer, and also the consumable, like the filaments that go with the 3D printer. and we charge them a little fee. Why? Otherwise, anything that is free given to the students or users, it is not valued so much. Imagine if you happen to give a free photocopy service, what happens? There's a lot of misuse. So similarly here, just to make it people use it for serious activity, we do this. Okay, now talking about the novelty, practicality, and impact, this maker space and innovation zone that we have in the library is managed by a club which is constituted by the library, and it is named Srishtara. It is the club name is Srishtara. Srishtara means creator in Sanskrit. Okay, it consists of 15 students from different disciplines, and they are responsible for management of both innovation zone and maker space in collaboration with incubation cell at BITS Pilani. That is very, very interesting. There's a lot of collaboration that happens with that particular department also. So this is the logo of Srishtara team, again created by our own students. And talking about the user experience here, it has been received with overwhelming enthusiasm and positive feedback from the students community. And we have conducted a series of workshops on how to use 3D printing, how to use simulation software in order to skill, create awareness, and engage the students community as well as library staff here. Okay. And the impact of this is so much, a tremendous impact on the student from all branches of the study has been observed, including those who are working on startups or incubation center, and also those who are participating in national and international competitions. And they use it so extensively there. And this has led to a growth of a student community where they collaborate, exchange ideas, explore novel technology, and implement projects. And therefore, this facility brings out a real maker in every student, whoever is using it. And also, it was, this particular makerspace was presented in one of the, very, very important international Biosummit conference organized by MIT Media Lab, USA. So here you can see, a Srishtara team student making a presentation during this Biosummit, this thing. Okay. So I'll quickly move on to the next space, which is innovation zone in the library, which I mentioned to you earlier. And this zone is primarily meant for students with possible support from the and guidance from the faculty members to use it for as a space for creative and innovative activities. And it is expected to provide opportunities for students to learn, develop new skills, and it fuels engagement, creativity, and curiosity at the same time. And we have made it as a student-driven space, again, supervised by the library staff. And here we have put 4 dedicated computers, which are loaded with a lot of design and simulation software. These are the simulation software that we have got. Some of them are institute licensed, some of them are free source, some of them are paid software. And these softwares are being used for, mechanical design, electrical design, 3D modeling, video editing and animation, and also like, slicer for 3D printer, so on and so forth. And the number of simulation package is also growing because of the needs of the users. They keep recommending, sir, you get this and all that. Completely, yeah, it is completely student driven, and it is quite appealing and welcoming for the students. I'll move on to the next space. I think there is a disturbance. Somebody can mute the microphone.
Can we please remind all the participants to please keep your mics on mute? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will move on to this next space, which is an ideation zone and multimedia studio. This ideation zone is a take-up ground for budding ideas and ideation, a very critical stage of design thinking process. Okay, and it facilitates discussions in a very conducive environment, and provides resources like discussion room, teleconference facilities with we have a 35-inch multi-touch LED screen with whiteboard, wireless display, And we also have a chalkboard there, and flexible workstations and group discussion tables in conjunction with our multimedia studio. And this is the multimedia studio adjoining that. It has been set up to give lift to the field of multimedia creations, photography, and filmmaking, which is a very, very critical aspect of today's digital age, and students simply love it. They love doing this. Okay. And this facility is for the faculty members, research scholars, and students to record their lectures, presentations, academic videos, audios, digital artworks, and edit them as per their requirements. And the studio also provides all that is necessary for a beginner as a trained professional to cherish the fruits of their creativity. So things like equipment that we have added there are many. This is a sound mixer, and you can see here there are. It's the addition of equipment is also growing there. Okay. Now, going to the next space, which is a very, very interesting space, and I feel very proud to share this with each one of you. And it is called BITS Pilani Heritage Gallery. And this was a mega project that we worked in BITS Pilani Library. It is basically to showcase how BITS Pilani has evolved right from its Patashala days. That means right from its kindergarten. Okay, that was 1901 to the present status of Institute of Eminence. It began with a few, you know, primary school students earlier in 1901, and now it is where we are. Okay, so it actually tells the story of how it came up. Now, just to give you another story of how we came up with this particular idea. So when I had joined this library almost about 6 years ago, 7 years actually now, I could see a lot of photographs which were dumped in carton boxes lying loose, catching dust in one obscure corner of the library. This was a real photograph then. Okay. And so many cartons, so many photographs inside. And when I looked at these, the photographs inside, I found them to be very, very rare, very precious, very valuable, and they belong to the national leaders prior to independence, like Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Vinoba Bhave, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, Lal Bahadur Shastri. You know, all these people were actually very well connected with Sri G.D. Birla, the founder of BITS Pilani. Okay, they used to come to Pilani to have some kind of interaction with him and with the institute. Okay, so and these were all very nice, but not kept very well. You know, the photographs black and white, and these photographs were actually needed to be, you know, chronologically organized, revived, digitized, reprinted, framed, and displayed with a storyline covering all the four campuses of BITS Pilani. So we conceptualized that idea of, you know, putting up a beautiful, uh, the gallery, photo gallery, that is heritage gallery. So we started working on this project for more than 4.5 years to 5 years now. And just to take a quick round of the, the gallery, I'm just taking you a quick tour of the gallery. As you can see in black and white here, that is the story that is going on here. And we are very soon going to implement AR, augmented reality here also, to, you know, narrate the story of how this Pilani, BITS Pilani has evolved. And these are different corners. You know, this is in different angles of the gallery, as you can see here. And it is beautifully set up actually now. And this is Goa campus, Hyderabad campus, and, Dubai campus, and going up to the same place where you saw those scattered, the boxes and things like that. It's a very same space which is now converted into a gallery where we are showcasing the, the achievements of the BITS Pilani. So it has taken a different shape altogether as of now. So the work is still in progress. Maybe in another 1 or 2 months, we plan to get it inaugurated. And I'm pretty sure that this particular space will create a different kind of an experience for not only the students, but also the alumni, very, very important visitors. They look at, the past history of the BITS Pilani, how it has come up. I wish I had shown you the video, but because of the time constraint, I will skip that. And finally, I would like to, trust me, this is my last show, last slide. This is talking about use of technology using the library mobile app. So instead of I telling you anything, I would like you to watch this video, which is just about 1 minute. So I request your patience to watch this. So I hope it is running, and I hope the sound system also works. Okay, so I'll close this video, and I would now like to stop my presentation with last slide, just to conclude. Solve. Okay, it's just I do not want to miss the last message from our director. I hope you are able to see this. I'm sorry for that stupid way of taking you through the previous slides. It's a message from our director which says, and again, it talks about the user experience. He says people come to the library for reading, study, research, brainstorming, discussion, innovation, reference, and sometimes socializing in virtual and in real form. This message has been put up very prominently in the library in one of the important halls at the entrance. And in the further message, he says that I'm sure that every visitor will have a great experience of pilgrimage while visiting this library. So thank you all very much.